Hello and welcome. In this lesson, we would explore how to write effective narration scripts and video transcripts for instructional videos. A well-written script is the foundation of a successful learning experience. It helps organize ideas, guide learners through content, and ensure that information is communicated clearly and consistently. Whether you're creating a short tutorial, a demonstration, a scenario-based video, or a complete online course, the quality of your narration can significantly influence how well learners understand and retain information. Throughout this lesson, you will learn a practical process for planning, writing, revising, and finalizing narration scripts, as well as creating transcripts that support accessibility and enhance the learning experience. Let's begin by understanding the purpose of a narration script. A narration script is the text that will be spoken in a video rather than recording content spontaneously. Instructional designers typically prepare a script in advance. These help ensure that the information is accurate, organized, and aligned with learning objective. A script serves as a roadmap for the video. It guides the presenter, support consistency, and help maintain a logical flow of ideas from beginning to end. The first step in writing a narration script is identifying the learning objective. Before writing any content, ask yourself, what should learners know, understand, or be able to do after watching this video? The answer to this question becomes the foundation of the script. For example, if the goal of a video is to teach learners how to submit an assignment through a learning management system, the narration should focus specifically on the submission process. Information that does not support this objective should be excluded. A clear objective helps keep the content focused and prevent unnecessary information from distracting learners from the main message. Once the learning objective has been established, the next step is organizing the content. A useful approach is to create an outline before writing the narration. Most instructional videos include three main sessions: an introduction, the main instructional content, and a conclusion. The introduction provides context and prepares learners for the logic. The main content presents the knowledge, skills, or procedures learners need to understand. The conclusion reinforces the most important point and helps learners consolidate their learning. Creating an outline allows you to organize information logically before developing the full script. For example, if you're creating a video on submitting an assignment, your outline might include accessing the course page, locating the assignment activity, uploading a file, reviewing the submission, and confirming successful submission. With the outline complete, you can begin writing the narration. One of the most important principles of script writing is to write for listening rather than reading. Learners process spoken information differently than written information. When reading, learners can pause, reread sessions, and move through content at their own pace. During a video, however, information is presented in real time. For this reason, narration should use clear language, short sentences, and familiar vocabulary. Avoid overly formal language and unnecessary jargon whenever possible. For example, instead of saying the implementation of effective communication methodology facilitates organizational success, you might say using effective communication strategies help organizations succeed. Both statements communicate the same idea, but the second version is easier to understand when spoken aloud. As you write, imagine explaining the concept directly to a learner. The narration should sound natural and conversational. Using a conversational tone helps create a more engaging learning experience and makes formal complex information easier to understand. Another important technique is chunking information. Chunking involves breaking content into smaller, manageable sessions rather than presenting large amounts of information all at once. For example, instead of explaining an entire process in a single paragraph, divide it into individual steps and address one step at a time. This approach reduces cognitive overload and help learners focus on the information being processed. Transitions also play an important role in narration. Transitions help learners understand how ideas are connected and guide them smoothly from one topic to the next. Simple phrases such as, let's begin with, the next step is, or now that we have explored this concept, can improve the flow of the lesson and make it easier to follow. As you continue developing the script, it is important to consider how the narration will work alongside the visuals. Instructional videos are most effective when narration and visuals complement one another. So a common mistake is displaying large amount of text on the screen while reading the same text aloud. This can overwhelm your learners because they are trying to read and listen at the same time. Instead, use visuals to reinforce key ideas while the narration provides explanation and guidance. For example, if your slide demonstrates how to use a software application, the screen can show the process while the narration explains what is happening and why it is important. This creates a stronger learning experience because the audio and the visual element work together to support understanding. After completing the first draft, the next step is reviewing and revising the script. Revision is an essential part of the writing process. One of the most effective techniques for reviewing a script is reading it aloud. Reading aloud helps identify awkward phrasing, overly long sentences, repetitive language, and sections that may be difficult for learners to understand. As you review the script, ask yourself the following questions. Is the narration aligned with the learning objective? Does the language sound natural when spoken? Are the instructions clear and easy to follow? Does the content flow logically from one session to the next? Will learners be able to understand the information the first time they hear it? Use these answers to these questions to refine and improve the script before recording. Once the narration script has been finalized, the next step is creating the video transcript. A transcript is a written version of everything that is spoken in the video. Transcripts play an important role in accessibility and learner support. They provide an alternative way for learners to access information and are particularly valuable for individuals who are deaf or hard of hearing. Transcripts can also support learners who prefer reading, learners working in environments where audio cannot be used, and learners who want to review content after watching a video. Creating a transcript is often straightforward because the narration script already contains the spoken content. However, it is important to ensure that the transcript reflects the final recorded narration. If changes are made during recording, those changes should be incorporated into the transcript as well. When preparing a transcript, focus on accuracy, clarity, and organization. Review the transcript carefully for spelling, grammar, and formatting error before publishing the video. Before concluding the script writing process, it is helpful to conduct a final quality check. Review the learning objective and confirm that the narration supports it throughout the video. Ensure that the language is clear, concise, and learner-focused. Verify that visuals and narration complement one another rather than competing for attention. Finally, confirm that the transcript accurately reflects the recorded audio and is ready to support all learners. Writing effective narration transcript and video transcript is an essential skill for instructional designers, educators, and content creators. Strong scripts help transform information into meaningful learning experience, while accurate transcripts make those experiences more accessible and inclusive. By focusing on clear objective, logical organization, conversational language, thoughtful revision, and accurate transcription, you can create instructional videos that are engaging, effective, and learner centered. Thank you for participating in this lesson.